After all this time, the day has arrived. Let's talk about the definitive Scooby Doo movie. The one that brought Scooby out of the Dark Ages and into modern times. What redefined the series for a new generation, and without which we might not have the Goliath that we have now. For good or ill, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about Scooby Doo on Zombie Island.
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now.
The year is 1998, and while there hadn't been a new Scooby series on air since A Pup Named Scooby Doo, reruns and cable had kept the franchise in the spotlight. And as the decade neared its end, it seemed like they were primed for a revival. And a revival was something the Cartoon Network was amped to capitalize on, seeing much potential in the series based on its fervent fan following.
Look who's pulled into Burger King! Scooby-Doo and the whole gang! You can collect all 5 toys, one with every Kids Club meal.
Brought to life by the minds of Jim Stenstrom and Glenn Leopold, 2 veterans of Hanna-Barbera and Scooby-Doo, as well as being involved in more modern stuff like SWAT Cats, they were the perfect pair to usher the series into the next millennium. Anyway, let's get this review started. And remember,
this time, the monsters are real.
Yes, the monsters being real. That was the main tagline and through line for the new generation of Scooby-Doo stuff. But in reality, real monsters had been part of the series since the early 80s with the introduction of Scrappy-Doo, and they had different movies and other stuff with real monsters involved. The Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo show had real monsters, 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo had real monsters, all the different movies that it had before have had real monsters. The whole idea of there being no real monsters in the Scooby-Doo universe was a thing that kind of just harkened back to the original, but everyone who actually continued to watch the show knew that monsters existed in the Scooby-Doo universe.
Stories like that always give me the heebie-jeebies.
The story picks up after Mr. Incorporated has finished their final adventure together and gone their separate ways. Daphne and Fred are a reporter and her cameraman. Velma's running a bookshop, and our forever free spirits Scoopy and Shaggy are on their current job of airport security, but really just chomping on the confiscated food. Our heroes are gathered together once more in an attempt to recapture their glory days, to travel across the country solving mysteries. But the core truth is that Daphne is in search of real spooks and specters, trying to find some mystery that can't be easily proven to just be a man in a rubber mask. This brings them to the swamps of Louisiana and the ancient legends of that spooktacular place.
Well, if they want haunted, they come to the right place. Peoples go into that bayou and they don't never come out.
I've got to say that the animation and art style for this film is top-notch. It's this film in particular that is one of the best looking of the Scooby-Doo movies. The lighting is significantly dramatic. The character designs are that perfect blend of late 90s, early 2000s, allowing them to look like their old characters, but still fit in with modern cartoons.
Yikes! It's a regular zombie jamboree!
The amazing and shocking first appearance of the zombies is only the start of the mystery. Led on a series of twists and turns, this one actually plays out like a real mystery, and it's fun following the clues, trying to figure out what happens, and you find yourself actually surprised by what takes place. You get fun characters, creepy creature designs, and an amazing atmosphere. It all just feels spooky in that fun way. It's just wonderful. Another thing that's wonderful is the music. The remix of the original Scooby-Doo theme, along with the absolute banger that is Terror Time. You could really tell they put a lot of work into making the soundtrack for this thing just fun and enjoyable to listen to even on its own. Frank Welker is the only character returning to reprise his role as Fred, but the rest of the cast does an amazing job. With B.J. Ward as Velma, Mary Kay Bergman as Daphne, Billy West doing an amazing job as Shaggy, and Scott Ines as Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is a classic that stands the test of time, and if you haven't seen it, go out and do so. I'm Keckers, and stick around as we continue our Scooby-Doo adventure.